Yes, good evening to everybody. Welcome to the today
Yes.
class of the International Human Rights Law. Yes, Christian Basanja, no Shida, no problem. Whenever the internet is there, you can make it out.
Okay.
You can join. And now you read what is, I put it on the screen. Is it visible to you?
Okay. The UN make it treated.
Read. I said read. Is it possible to read? Okay, I will read. Doesn't matter. Huh? Does the UN establish treaties? That is the question.
Okay. Does the UN establish treaties?
Yeah, there is a problem of your internet. Mute it. No
Through
matter. There is a problem of your
Yes.
internet. You mute it. I will read. Okay? Yes. Does the UN establish the treaty? That is the question. So throughout the United Nations system, treaties are also developed by the special agencies. See, there is a mod.
Yes.
Treaties are developed
Throughout
by
the United Nations system.
Please, I read it. Mute it. I read it because your internet is having the problem. You don't read it. Mute it. So the treaties also developed by the special agencies of the United Nations, and such as the International Labour Organization, which is a special agency, and the World Health Organization, which is a special agency, by the subsidiary organs of the United Nations. Even subsidiary organs also could make the treaty, such as the United Nations Commission on the International Trade. It is a subsidiary organ of the United Nations. So treaties are made by the special agencies, and treaties are made by the subsidiary organs of the UN. So just you make it out. Then tomorrow I will ask you the home assignment. The assignment to you, Kazuya Nyumbani for you, is who will establish the charter or who will create the charter. So that is an assignment to you. So now let us come to the yesterday's class continuation. And I told you that human rights it is an abstract and it is a philosophical. So while the origin of the human right lies in the nature of the human being itself, when the human being exists over there, then the human rights is necessary and exist over there. As articulated in all the world's major religions and moral philosophy. So now the question is, when a man exists and his name exists, of course, exists in the sense with he is having the name. So if a person, definitely when he is born, he is having the domicile. And in the same manner, when the human being exists over there, then automatically the human rights comes into the picture. Because that is the moral philosophy. What is the moral philosophy? Nobody should hurt him. Let him have a peaceful life. Nobody make him a slave. And will have the equal treatment and have the equal dignity. And there should no partiality. There is no discrimination. The rule of law will be applicable. So these are the things which are the inherent basic human rights of a human being. Is it clear?
Yes.
And the human rights law is a more recent phenomena that is closely associated with the rise of the liberal democratic state. So when the globalization is there, urbanization is there, liberalization is there, and the liberal state is there, and there is no restriction for a man to live wherever he likes. If I want to live in the Tanzania, if anybody will object? Yes? Provided I would apply to the citizenship. Are you following me?
Yes, we are following.
Very good, very good. So the democratic state is there, and the free liberalization is there. At the time, man been born at one place and studied in one place and married in one place and having the establishment of the life in another place. In the place means country. Because now the world is on the palm. Or we can say the world is a hamlet. What is hamlet? Yes, world is a noun, is a hamlet, H-A-M-L-E-T, hamlet. Did you have an idea what is hamlet? If you know it, you tell me. If you don't know it, you say pass on. Anyone? Participants? Anyone can unmute and give me the answer. What is hamlet? If you know it, you tell me. If you don't know it, you say pass on. Unmute and give me the answer. I think there is a problem in your internet, it seems. Hamlet means a small village is called hamlet. I repeat, hamlet means a small village is called a hamlet. The less than very few. So that is, in such a states, majoritarianism legitimizes legislation and the increasing bureaucratized function of the executives. Now the question is there are three organs of three main organs in the constitution. What are they? Anyone can unmute and give me the answer. In the constitution of Tanzania, there are three main organs, or three bodies, or three divisions.
Yes.
What are they?
Yes, we have executive. One. We have again a judiciary, two. And the third one is parliament.
Legislation. The sequence, yes. You have to make it out. You did not make the sequence. The sequence is generally when I in the class I will say you. Kwanza chupi, the first chupi, that is the underwear. Next is the skin tight. Next is the surwali. That is the sequence. But if you write the trouser first, then skin tight second, and the chupi, the underwear third, then you will become a Superman. Am I right? Am I right? Say yes or no. Did you get my point? The first is executive. The second is legislative. And the third is judiciary. So these are the three are there. And the three major role, of course, executives make more violations, more ultra-virus things. And they will try to harass the people. And when the matter comes to the legislation, of course, they will make the enactments which is suitable for the country. But it will be there, of course, there is a separate body would be there which is take care of the legislations and make it out. Suppose something goes wrong in the legislation or it is in contravention with the Grannam, that is the constitution of Tanzania or anybody's constitution, at that instance, it is the judiciary will interpret it and say it is null and void. So judiciary takes an important role to see that the thing should be in a right path. It is the judiciary which can make it out. If there is a human right violations are there, they will pass the strictures and see that it will take an action even against the executive, even against the state also. They will give the warning to the state. So that is the powerful body of the judiciary. So here the bureaucratization will be made by the executive and the legislation will be made by the separate wing would be there which will take care of it, of course, supported by the executives. However, majorities sometimes may have the little regard of the numerical minorities. Here, there are people there who are the minorities. And can you tell me who are the minorities in Tanzania? Anyone can unmute and give me the answer. Anyone can unmute and give me the answer. Who are the minorities in Tanzania? Even the religion or a sect or something which are is in less in number, they will come under the minorities. Are you getting me? Please give me the answer, yes or no, so that I could know that you are with me and I am with you. Otherwise, I am saying to the wall. Same in the meanwhile, you can say. So minorities are there. For instance, you take the India, the minorities are either we can say the Muslims, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jains. And the Hindus are very in majority is there. So I don't know why you are not giving the answer. Who are the minorities there here in Tanzania? Sir, there is no minorities in Tanzania. Huh? Not like that, because there are people are there, those who are less in number, either in sect or religion also there. But anyway, let us see that. So minorities will not be out marginalized, such as a sentenced criminals. And of course, people are not alike in the society. There are the people, those who are having the criminal bent, and when they are does the criminality, naturally the court will punish them, and then they are sentenced to the jail and put it in the jail. And the linguistic or religious groups. Here the linguistic means language speaking people. And the majority of the language is spoken in Tanzania is, majority of the people that speak the language in Tanzania is, please give me the answer.
Swahili language.
Okay, what is the minority language? Less people will speak in Tanzania. Sorry, we don't know exactly. But anyway, there would be a certain language would be there, definitely will be spoken very less people. Yes.
Yes, there it depends on the ethnics or some sort of second language or third language.
Okay, okay. So it is now mute it. It is based on the linguistic also and the religious group. So now majority of the religious group in Tanzania are means faith, having the faith in particular religion. Please give me the answer.
There are two religions, of course, which are of majority, Christian and Muslims.
No, majority only one is there. When you say majority means the highest number, then the second majority we can say. The first majority when we say it is the Christians, and the second comes under the Muslims. When you go to the Zanzibar, who comes first? Muslims come. Islam will come first over there because they are the very majority of them. So they will also see the linguistic, and they also see the religious groups, and they also see the non-nationals. Non-national means expatriates. And indigenous people, those who are born over there, nomadic tribes are the other people, those who are from the beginning are there, and the socially stigmatized people. And the socially stigmatized means marginalized. Are they labeled over there? And for instance, here the less, I don't say less, but we can say the stigmatized are the socially backward people. In which ethnic group there in Tanzania? Socially backward. Yes? Never haya, na mohaya, au na chaga janja sana. Then generally it is, I believe that, I don't know whether I am right or not. What is that? People, those are, they take the shepherds. Release group. I have forgotten the sects. Masai. Yes, I believe. So naturally, there are very less people are there who are well educated. Am I right? Please make the correction. Participants, I don't know whether you are hearing me or not. So here, depending upon the marginalized group
Please.
or socially stigmatized group also, and they should be also protected because under the rule of law. What is the rule of law? Everyone is equal under the rule, under the eye of the law. And all world is having the equal rights. That is the rule of law. So it therefore becomes necessary to guarantee the existence of the rights of the numerical minorities. Even minorities also protected. The vulnerable and powerless people also, those downtrodden and marginalized in the ethnic group also will be given a preference. In other sense, everyone is having the value of it. Everyone is having the rights. And that to be the equal right. There is no discrimination, creed, caste, color, and even the ethnic group or linguistic distinction also. So it becomes therefore becoming necessary to guarantee the existence of the right of the numerical values, the vulnerable and powerless. This is done by agreeing on the rules of governing society in the form of the constitutionality and entrenched and justifiable Bill of Rights containing the basic human rights for all. So for maintaining the rule of law and having the equal status to the people taking part in it, so there would be certain basic rights should be there, the Bill of Rights, and the rights which are said to be the basic rights, then they say it is a basic human rights for all. For all in the sense, for all who are the human beings. Not necessarily there should be a Tanzanian, there should be Indian, there is a European. Because everybody is there. Everybody is there. Please fill up the blank so that I could know that you are with me. Everybody is here. Either you are Indian or Tanzanian or European or American, everybody is here. Please fill up the blank. Everybody is here. Participants. Human being. At least tell me now. Everybody is here.
Human being.
I appreciate. This gives the sense that you are with me. That is give the sense to me. So it is therefore become necessary to the guarantee, because I told you that they are because of the human beings, and hence the basic rights should be given because they are the human being, and hence we can say human rights for all. Through this Bill of Rights, human rights law, and is created, becoming the integral to the legal system and superior to ordinary law and executive actions. So Bill of Law, the fundamental rights are very super than the ordinary laws and the executive actions also. So fundamental rights are inalienable like the human rights because they guarantee it. Everybody will be same in the eye of the law. There is one statement is there. I don't know whether you can remember that statement or not. However you may be high. I repeat, however you may be high, the law is above you. Can you repeat?
Pardon, please. Pardon, Professor.
However
yes, Professor,
you may
pardon,
be high. Repeat.
How? Yes.
However you may be high, the law is above you. Repeat.
Sorry, Professor, I don't get you well. Can you repeat again?
However you may be high. I repeat. However you may be high, the law is above you.
However you may be high, the law is
above you.
Above you, right?
Yes, that
Over
is
you.
that means No one can be above the law. Repeat. Repeat. No one is above the law.
Yeah,
That
no one
is
is
the
above
thing.
the law.
Yes. So in this article, what they wrote. Okay, mute. Okay, tayari, mute. So in this article, some aspect of the history of the human rights law at a global level, they made it global level, regional level, and sub-regional level, and non-state level also they made it out. The focus for all the recent there than the mode. So they made global level, a regional level, and sub-regional level. That means national level and local level also come in the sub-regional level. So 3 generations of the international human rights law. They say 3 generations. Of course, they divide it into the 3 generations over there because at the time of the World War I and II, how the law would be there. In the middle, how the law would be there. In the modern system, how the law would be there. I mean, human rights law. The human rights activism can be described as a struggle to ensure that the gap between the human rights and human rights law is narrowed down in order to ensure the full legal recognition and actual realization of the human rights. The question is, whatever the human rights are there, the rights are said to be the human rights law. So human rights law is nothing but the human rights are concerned and what they want and how they should be treated over there. The all points are said to be the bundle of rules are said to be the law. That is called human rights law. The history shows that governments don't generally grant right willingly, but the rights gains are only secured through the successful challenge to absolutist authority. In general, the history shows government generally will not grant the rights to you. Of course, government grant the rights in the form of a statute. They say you do have the rights and you have the duties. But generally they try to see that it will be curbed over there. So they don't give the certain rights to you. So it is the universal phenomena if you see the history. But the challenges could be made by the successful absolutist authority. Then who is the absolutist authority? In the parenthesis, I put it over there. Can anyone unmute and read? In the parenthesis, it is put it over there, which I highlighted on the screen. Is it visible? I magnify it also. Is it visible, my screen, which I highlighted? Can anyone unmute and read?
Yes.
Can
Yes,
anyone
Professor.
unmute and read?
Yes, Professor, do you hear me? An absolute authority is the one whose command it is subject have an obligation to obey, independently of all condition, save those necessary to its being and an authority.
Did you get anything from there? Okay, I'll give the explanation. An absolute authority is one whose command its subjects. Do you know what is its subjects? Suppose the state is authority or any body is authority, and whose subjects means those who are living under the state or on the territory, they are called the subjects. We are the subjects of Tanzania. Means we are the people of Tanzania, or we are living in the Tanzania. When you are living in the Tanzania, you have to obey the Tanzanian law. So that is an absolute authority. They say an absolute authority is one whose commands, means regulations and orders, is its subjects, and its subjects to whom to have an obligation to obey the independently. So it made you, the people, or its subjects, to make it to follow the command, and an obligation would be there on the people would and those who are living over there. So obligation to obey the independently of all the conditions. They have to independently obey all the conditions, but save those necessary to its being an authority. But such conditions which can save the authority itself, such authority will not be given to a person. For instance, A state can give the authority to run the transport. Am I right? Am I right? A state can give the authority to you to run the transport from one place to another place. Am I right? Say yes or no. So that I could know. Christian Masanja, I don't know. So, okay.
Pardon, Professor. Pardon, Professor.
A state can give the authority to run the transport in the country. To whom? The people or organization. The independent person. Hud, Abud. What is those people? The state can give the authority to them to run play the buses. Can the state can give the authority to the independent for the defense? Yes. Can a state will give the authority to the independent body toward the defense force? Please give me the answer.
Yes.
No.
Yes, Professor.
No. Defense is only run by the state because it's an absolute authority. Minting the money, currency is only the state can do it. It cannot be given to the individual person. Are you following me? Certain commercial functions can be given. Certain public convenience could be given by the state. That is called absolute state. But it will not give certain things, save those necessary to its being an authority. Because it is being an authority, it cannot give certain things, the powers to a man. That is the point absolutism is concerned. Of course, the following on the Magna Carta, I don't know whether you know the Magna Carta or not, but one day I will explain you what is Magna Carta. But the time being, you say it is some fundamental rules made in the England by the royal charter or royal kings. So the Magna Carta, which sets the limits on the powers of the royal government in 13th century in England in 1777, that is an American declaration. Of course, for everything there is an American Declaration of Independence. They have given some charter, the Royal Charter in 1718, and French Declaration has come over there. And later on, they are the landmarks how the revolution vision could be transferred into the national law and made into the justiciable guarantees against the future abuse. So now there is a French Revolution is there, American Declaration is there, and these things made to see the human rights are recognized. So that is the point which I want to convey to you. So now here the traditional categorization of the three generations of human rights used in both the national and the international human rights discourse traces the chronological evaluation of human rights. They only categorization me how is the 18th century, how is the 19th century, how is the now it is happening over there. So in the 18th and 19th centuries, the struggle for the right focused on the liberation from authoritarian oppressions and the corresponding rights of the free speech, association, religion, right to vote. In the beginning, do you think there is a government? In the earlier days, in the olden days, there is a Tanzania government is there in olden days. Please give me the answer. Answer is no. It is only the tribe. Those who the clan member is there, he will give the justice and he will rule it. There is no currency. There is no currency to buy. Then what they do? What do they do at the time? There is no currency. What do they do? Participants, are you there? Now Christian Masanja is there, Donald Malibuwa is there. Oh, Donald Malibuwa, twice you joined over there. In the olden days, there is no currency. They used to make the barter system. See, I will give some rice to you and give you some flesh to me,
Hello?
mutton. I will give you certain things to you, you give me some things to me. There is no currency to buy it. It is only give and take barter system was there. So from that level to another level to another level, which has come over there, with the changed view of the state role in the industrialization world and against the background of the growing inequalities, the importance of the socio-economic becomes the more clearly articulated. From such a clan to the, again came to the religious parish father or the religious leader. He used to give the justice and he used to rule it. And after sometimes kings have come. After sometimes kings have come, later on the democracy has made into the monarchy was there, the kings. Now the kings rules in the Tanzania. Participants, give me the answer.
Current, no. Current,
Where the kings rule in the world now? Where the kings rule now in this world, in the countries? Did I ask you such a hard question?
for example, for example, there is Eswatini.
What is that? The king ruling now in the Saudi Arabia, the king rule in the Middle East, but still the king system is there. No democracy is there. Is it clear? Say yes.
Yes.
Very good. So now, with the growing globalization, with the growing liberalization, with the growing industrialization, and the growing technology, see all these things, and the heightened the awareness of the overlapping global concern, especially due to the extreme poverty in some parts of the world, then we can say third generation. Underdeveloped country. Tanzania is a developed country or an undeveloped country? Yes? Underdeveloped country, but still trying to make the developed country. Such as the rise to land, such as the rise to healthy, such as the rise to healthy environment and self-determination and so development have been adapted. So right, healthy environment should be there and self-discrimination would be there and all the rights would be given and the GDP would be the high and industrialization is good and the currency is having the high value. At that instance, we can say that is a developed country. So in the developing world, economic growth is an important factor and the development are often regarded as the goals to trump civil and political rights. Again, the people should have to enjoy the civil rights and the political rights. What is the political rights? They can be stand as a, then represent as a, even a president, they contest it. And civil rights, they do have a right to marry and the right to make the contract and the civil matters are concerned and such rights also will be given. The discrepancy between the two sets of the rights are also emphasized. Of course, civil rights are there, political rights are there, and the human rights are there. The rights were said to be the immediate application, while second generation's rights are understood be implemented only in the long term progressively. So two types of the right is there. One is the short-term rights like the civil and political rights, and sometimes a long, of course, there is no right. A right is a right, whether it is a this generation or any other generation. So they say long-term or progressively, but there is no such a distinction now. Another axis of the division was supposed to notion the first generation right place negative obligation, and the state will second generation right place a positive obligation on state. So they say one is a negative obligation not to do, one is a positive obligation right to do. So they say first generation rights are you don't do this thing, you don't do that thing, that is the negative things. But the second generation rights are they are given, yes, you have the right to do this thing. So they say at that time, that is the distinction between they given the negative rights are the positive rights. Because the olden days, the negative rights are more, the positive rights are very less. But when you grow it in second generation, the positive rights are more and the obligation of the state to do the particular thing. Because a state should have to make the compulsory education for the children up to the age of participants. The state has to make the free education up to the age of, or at least secondary education up to that, or primary education free. What is the free in Tanzania? Up to what extent in Serikali government? Participants. Please
The
give me the
government in
answer.
Tanzania provide
Proceed,
the
give.
government in Tanzania provide free education. Yes, it provides free education from primary level to secondary level.
Whatever the higher universities.
Pardon?
What about in the university?
About the universities, they don't provide free education, but they just support by giving out loans for those who are just who cannot afford to get such a education.
Who are such people? Haya, Masai. Who are such people who could not get the feasibility and reachability of the education in Tanzania?
The students who are the citizen of the United Republic of Tanzania, but whom their parents have not strong economic ability to afford that.
Means it is based on the parameter is based on the economic factors.
Yes.
So that way, some people will get 60%, some people get 40%, some people will get the 100%. Whether this amount which is given as a scholarship or a loan, you should be refundable after getting the job.
Yes, it is refundable.
So can you say it's a scholarship? Can you say it is a loan?
It is a loan, not a scholarship.
Yes, in India, there is a scholarship, there is no loan. Even myself, my father is economically not up to the mark of the income group. Hence, I can get the economically backward class. Financially, we are the backward. And hence, I applied for the scholarship. And I got the scholarship where the lodging and boarding hostel is free. And they will give the pocket money also, certain extent. So we had the free education because my father income is very less, even though I am a Muslim, and because I am economically backward, that's the government has given the scholarship to me there. I studied over there, but not in masters. No, at the time of the masters, I became an employee, so I paid my own money because the daytime I used to work because we have the classes in the evening, master classes. So we'll attend the classes in the evening. So I did not take the scholarship in the masters, but I took the scholarship in the other education, that is the LLB basic degree. So what I want to say is the downtrodden people would be there, those who stigmatized for that there would be a right, they do have it to claim from the government. So that is the second generation rights, not to follow. These are rights to make it out. Now let us see the three types of the, one is global level, another is regional level, another is sub-regional level, how the human rights work over there. Let us see, because still we have some 4 to 5 minutes and we'll see that how far that we can make it out. So at any time it can stop it. Of course, the indication comes 5 minutes, then we will tell you. For many centuries, there was no international human rights law regime in the place. In the olden days, there is no international human rights law. That regime is not there. Okay. In fact, international law supported and colluded in many of the worst human right atrocities. At the time, many atrocities were done to the people, including they said here, Atlantic slave trade and colonization. Even the slave trade was there in Tanzania also, especially in the Zanzibar, because I say the people are sold over there, and the people then from, I don't know, tunnel, there is a place, from tunnel they used to take it to the harbor. From harbor, they take on the boats, the vessels to the other country to sell them. The slave trade is there in Zanzibar at the time. Even if you go to the Zanzibar, I don't know whether you have gone to Zanzibar or not. If you see the places of tourism places, they will show you that how the slaves will be tied with the chains and where they will be kept, from where the tunnels they will be sent and sold, transported to the other countries. So that was slave trade is there in the colonial times. And it was only in the 19th century and the international community adopted a treaty abolishing the slavery. The slavery is abolished in the only 19th century. Otherwise, the slavery would be there. People are sold like a commodity. Are you following me?
Yes.
Is the woman will be sold or the man will be sold? Yes. I believe there is no distinction. Even a woman can also be sold as a for the slavery. But generally, for the slavery, they used to take the male. But for the domestic work, even they can take the woman also. And they use that woman for the multi-purpose. Are you following me what I mean?
Yes, we are following.
I appreciate. The first international legal standard were adapted under the auspices of the International Labour Organization. Because slavery is no more there, because every man is having the dignity. And every man, even though he is a poor, it doesn't mean that he should have to be a slave to you. And you follow your orders. You are not a state. So here they say, for any labor is concerned, there is a standards would be made with the international, that the International Labour Organization, is it the organ of the UN or it is a special agency? Yes. I already told in my earlier class. WHO, it is not the organ of the UN. International Labour Organization, it is not the organ of the UN. It is only the special agencies. It is only, say, it is only, say, special agency.
Special agency.
Yes, only 5 minutes are left. So, which was founded in the 1919 as a part of the peace treaty of the Versailles. In the 1919 only this ILO. What the ILO do? Can anybody will tell me? International Labour Organization, what is the function? To control the price in the market. Commodity. Michele. Millets. It is the function of the ILO. If you know it, you tell me. If you don't know, you say pass on. I will give the answer. My class should not be one way. Yes, please. Proceed.
Yes,
What is the function of it will control the price of the
It deals
commodity.
with protecting the rights of workers.
It is the protecting the rights and the dignity of the workers, laborers. That is the function of the ILO. ILO is meant to protect the rights of the workers. See, already it is here. Even by looking on the screen, you can give me the answer also. I don't know why you are taking that much time. ILO is meant to protect the rights of the workers in an ever-industrializing world. That is the special agency. The core system of the human rights promotion and production under the United Nations has a dual basic. One is UN Charter that adopted in 1945 and network treaties subsequently adopted by UN chapter members. So now the two are there for the human rights. One is Charter, another is please, if you don't know, you say pass on, I will give the answer. It is there here, I don't know why you are not giving. There are two things are there for the promotion and protection of the human rights. Number one, Charter, which can be exclusively dealt by the UN, or the treaties, it can be made by the special agencies, or the special agencies of the UN with the permission, they will make the declarations, proclamations. Africa,